Hawk Sports fans, welcome back to the channel. You just saw her at UFC Nashville a little less than a month ago. Got the absolute roof blown off in the first fight of the night. That doesn't always happen in the UFC, but Nashville brought it. Huge crowd. Fatima's family was even on the front row, I believe. We were close to where she got the head kick knockout. Fatima Kline is joining us today, just removed from UFC Nashville just under a month ago. And I was telling her off camera, she's the first female fighter we've had on here on the talk show. So Fatima, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day, especially a weekend, to come join us today on Hawk Sports. This is awesome.
Absolutely. I'm super excited.
Yeah, this is awesome. And like I said, fabulous finish. It was an amazing card. I think there was 8 out of 12 finishes that night. You arguably had the best one. And it just started the night from there. It was great energy
Yeah.
tonight. I was so happy for you though, especially because your family was there. That's what's
Mm.
really important to me. Getting to see my friends compete in the octagon and their families right there to support them as well. So perfect, perfect scenario for you. I'm so happy for you to get the win. That kind of puts you on the map now. Now everybody knows that you're not here to fuck around. You're still young. We're going to continue to climb the ranks now. So it's awesome. But I just want to ask you, I know close to the fight, you also had a birthday. So I want to ask how your birthday was and how are you currently doing just a month removed?
Yeah, my birthday was on my fight. I had like 3 months notice, and at first when they offered me July 12th, I was like, "Oh my God, again?" Because last year I fought, I think it was the day after. Yeah, because I weighed in on my birthday. Weighing in on my birthday definitely wasn't as fun as fighting on my birthday, especially with
Yes,
the way the fight went.
for sure.
Um, So my birthday was awesome. Honestly, I won like I got my head kick first, head kick knockout of my career. I started the night off right. I was like, maybe I'll get the bonus. And I went out to eat afterwards with all my team and my family and everybody that came to support me, friends, cousins. And Man, I was cooked afterwards, so I never got to go on Broadway. I got to see it during the week, but
There you go.
man, I was cooked afterwards. So yeah, yeah. But now I'm doing good. We're like a couple weeks after my fight now. My left shin, and actually the shin that I knocked her out with is still a little sore, but I got back into training last week. And so I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. It's just a little bruise, so nothing I gotta worry about, but I'm excited to see the progression I make outside of my camp. Um and see what's next.
That's awesome. I'm glad you got to celebrate Nashville as well. It's a beautiful city. It's my favorite city in the world, besides my hometown. I live in a really small town in Kentucky or Indiana. You could say the one I'm right in. So it was perfect. UFC Nashville was there 2 hours away. So I
Yeah.
was able to be there to experience that. It sounded like you had a fantastic night. Couldn't have been a better birthday, what it sounds like.
Mm,
So that is awesome. I'm glad you got to enjoy that because you deserve that.
thank you.
That is awesome. But I wanted to ask you, had you ever been to Nashville before? And if not, what did you think of it? Or with it being, a time afterwards that you've already been there, what were you most excited for going back to Nashville to actually fight?
Yeah, I've never been in Nashville. I've tried to get on trips to go over there. When my sister was getting married, we tried to book the bachelorette over there. Didn't work
Yep.
out. I tried to go on a French trip. Didn't work out. So, honestly, it couldn't have been better just having my career just ship me off over there. Um, Man, I was so excited because I used to live in Long Island,
Yep.
New York. Now I'm kind of in the upstate. I'm in Dutchess County, Hyde Park, New York. And so we're like a little bit of country over there. We got
There
like
you go.
Billy Joe's that we go and country line dance. So I love country and go to Nashville. I was just super excited that I feel like the even all the people I met over there, the jujitsu gym I went to, Broken Anvil, man, they were so nice and just like I'm like, we don't get this over here where I live. We don't get it over here in New York. And so it was just like as soon as I landed, I felt like it was like a breath of fresh air. Like everybody's like, "Hey ma'am, how you doing?" And I was just like, "Wow, this is great." I kind of love that energy. I love when people are that like sweet southernness. And I went to go see Broadway that week, and that was sick. Like I brought my cowgirl boots. I
There you
had the
go.
hat rocking on. I had a belt buckle. I was having a good time. And so, man, I really hope I found myself back over there, whether it's for a fight or that'd be cool. Like in another couple of years, go back over there and fight over there again, or just going for fun. But I'm so glad I got to experience it.
That is awesome. And what you were just describing is what a lot of people would call Southern hospitality.
Yeah,
It's kind of how most things are in the South. Obviously, there's bad people wherever you go in the world, but in the South, it's most people should be respectful, especially in a city like Nashville. If you're in Nashville, everybody's there to have a good time and to not usually cause problems. So I don't think I heard of anything being an issue in
no,
Nashville that week. So I'm glad you got to enjoy that, have the Southern hospitality, and even have it yourself. You said you had the belt buckle, the boots, and all.
yeah.
So that's stuff right there, and that actually showed. I mean, I wanted to get into the fight now. The crowd was like really behind you. You go to some of these events, and half the arena, like you'll probably turn on UFC 320. That's next month. First fight, probably won't be a lot of people there. But if you go somewhere
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Nashville, and the people are really going to show out from the first fight. Obviously, you were the American in the fight. For the people that didn't already know you, so they had your back. And I mean, it was some loud chants. I mean, you had USA's going in the first fight. I was like, holy shit. I was like, this is awesome. So I'm glad that's probably going to hold a special place in your heart now.
Yeah.
So I did want to just ask though, I mean, you did obviously have such an amazing knockout. The setup was beautiful. She thought you were throwing a jab with how close you were in the distance, and you ended up throwing behind a head kick. I mean that is high level shit. I mean, you turn on the TV, you see head kick knockouts, but not from that close of range. I mean, you literally set that up to where she thought you were throwing a jab. You slipped off of it and threw the head kick behind it. Oh my god, absolutely beautiful. I've been to five UFC events now. That was probably the nastiest knockout I've seen in person,
Oh,
if
thank
not top three.
you.
So that was amazing. But I just wanted to ask, what did it mean to get such an amazing ovation from the crowd? You obviously had a very emotional, I guess, reaction to whenever it happened. You got all hype. You went over to your family. Crowd's out of their seat. Everybody's excited. So, what did it mean for you for the crowd to like not just be sitting there, but like everybody's actively standing up and just getting so hyped with you in that moment?
Yeah, yeah. Really, it felt like a once in a lifetime like moment for me, going into the third round, hearing the USA, hearing that it was a loud crowd, going into it, I was like, I don't care where I am on the card, like I'll be anywhere. I'll be the opener, closer, in
There
the
you
middle.
go.
You put me anywhere, I'm gonna put on a show. But I was just like, oh, I hope when I go there, like there's a good crowd, like it's we're fighters, we're entertainers. Like there's something special about when um the crowd is roaring your name. You hear the music, you hear your walkout music, you hear the crowd, you hear USA, and I love my country. I represent America wherever I am, and so just being able to hear that and feel the crowd's energies, and people are like reaching over the tunnels and like trying to hit my hand, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, man, not right now, but after the fight, I got you. And so just being able to feel that gives you another sense of like, yeah, let's do this. You know what I mean? These people believe on me. Let's get this done. And so going into the third, I knew I was winning.
Oh, for sure. For
I
sure.
like okay, like if a judge is going nuts and he's not paying attention that night, okay, maybe I could have lost the round, but like not in a million years. So I was super confident going into the third. My coaches were telling me, "Yo, listen for look out for the head kick, look out for the left side." And I'm like, what do I have to lose? Okay, I throw the heck there. I get hit, whatever. But I just like had this like feeling like I need a finisher. It's gonna be embarrassing. Like I was going to be I'm knowing myself, if I didn't finish her, it's embarrassing to me. Like, dude, you just spent 2 rounds like winning arguably like 10-9, 10-8 rounds.
Yeah.
Like you're at the highest right now. Let's finish this thing. And so I was a little worried about her running, and the more somebody fights you, the more like you can put on a show. And
Right.
so I felt like I kept on probing her with the jab, probing her with the jab. And then finally I was able to see her bite on it and come back in. And yeah, she like slipped into it and I threw the kick up. So it was that perfect like mix of like, I'm kicking, she's dipping into it. Um, and then it was almost weird. I'm like staring at her chest right when I'm fighting, and then she drops, and I'm like, I get on her real quick.
Yeah.
And it was almost like so surreal when he pulled me off of her, and I was like, oh my God, I did it. Like I knew I could do it, but I've dropped people with my hands and I've dropped a couple people with some right crosses, but I've never like put somebody flat
Yeah.
off of the kick. So when that happened, I jumped on her and I almost like couldn't believe it in the moment. And I tried to run out the cage to my coaches just because I was so excited. And then I found my family, but I was like in the crowd, I was in the cage just looking around and I just see all these people like American flags and USA and all these like these women, these kids, these men just like chanting, going absolutely crazy. And I'm just looking around like I'm like, feel like I'm in a movie right now. Even still, like I think about it now and it makes me like super happy. Just I feel like I could imagine some of the faces because I feel like I got some personal, I could see who is like chanting me and things like that. And even after the fight, I was walking out and signing hats and seeing how
Oh yeah.
excited people were. Like, dude, there's like nothing, there's no feeling like that feeling of people like being excited for you and like giving them what they want. These guys, these people want to see like knockouts.
For
And
sure.
so being able to give that to them and being able to do it for myself, like that's how you build a fan base. And I'm just so excited that people want to watch me fight and have a good time watching me fight.
For sure. And I think that's really well said. A lot of people, I feel like if they know and their corner knows, hey, I'm probably up 2-0 right now. I think you were up 2-0. I think she was just being tough. And there's a big difference in competing against somebody in the octagon and then just kind of being in there in the octagon with them. I felt like she was just kind of in the octagon there with you the first two
Yeah.
rounds. You were showcasing what you could do. You were hitting her with what you were doing. Obviously, had success in other parts of the, not just on the feet either, but um, it was obviously your fight to lose at that point in the third round. So I feel like that's kind of where you differentiate from everybody else, maybe in the UFC. Not everybody's going to be up 2-0 and necessarily put their foot down on the gas and be like, all right, like I'm going to finish her. I'm going to get this done. We're not leaving this to the judges at anything. I know the odds makers really respected you. I think you might have been the heaviest favorite on the card that night. I think you were like minus 1200 or something like that. Um,
Crazy.
I did
Crazy.
have you to get a finish, by the way, so I'm gonna go there now.
Sweet.
I had hope still, but no, that was. I appreciate your insight on that. Um, that's awesome that you guys were able to talk about it in the corner because that was gonna be my next question. What did your corner um see throughout the fight? What were you seeing throughout the fight where you knew that that was going to be an opening? And what did you see leading up to the fight, like in camp, to where like, hey, I could really have success against her in this area?
Yeah, it was super interesting during my camp. I was, we practicing like my kick defense and my offensive takedowns. And honestly, I didn't wind up using either one. So honestly, like you train for certain things, you train for specific things. You never know until you actually get there. Um, I was working a lot of my kicks as well because I know, well, now a lot of people will know now, but previous, I think, to my last fight, I feel like I'm greatly quoted as a grappler and a wrestler, and that's what I am. Like that's what I started with, but I don't think that's what I am. I'm a mixed martial artist, and
Exactly.
um, I work on my hands a lot. I do have like a 3-0 record in amateur boxing, so I know I got good striking. It was just like, well, what's the fight that's gonna happen? That's gonna prove that like I do. And this fight was the proof in the pudding. I had a hard time finding my takedowns. And honestly, I didn't think I needed them. Even though we were working on taking her down and really submitting her or finishing her in the first round, second round. You never know how things are going to play out till you get there. And yeah, going into the first and second, um, my coaches were encouraging me to keep looking for the takedown and kind of slow her down with my wall wrestling and just with my wrestling in general. I was noticing when I was going southpaw that my lead hand jab was hurting her. I
Yeah.
could just visually see it in her face. And so I was just kind of switching my stances casually, looking for my openings. Um, I honestly, for some reason, I didn't think the kick was gonna land. That was honestly just me putting all my faith in my coaches. I'm like, all right, like you think this kick is gonna land? Let's send it up. I thought I was gonna be able to drop her with a jab or like with one of my hands.
Yeah.
Um,
Third,
she
especially in the
was
third.
tough. She was tough.
The
She
way
was
she
eating it.
it was the way she was reacting too. I know exactly
Yeah,
what you think because I was right there too, and I was like, she's hurting her right now.
yeah.
I was like, she's hurting her right now.
You could see it, and I knew I could put her out. It was just like, well, what is it gonna be? Like, um, I was working a lot of check right hands, check hooks, and yeah, going into the third, they said throw up the kick, and I have so much faith in my coaches, like Frankie, Augie, Erin were all there, and Augie told me throw up the left kick. You got to trust your coaches. They're obviously seeing something that me personally I didn't see, you know. And I've worked with them for long enough that I'm like, man, it's a shame. We worked 9 weeks to get here. Now I'm not going to trust you, like so. I put 100% in. I did exactly what I was told, and it just goes to show you that, like, man, I can trust my coaches, and they can trust me to listen.
That's awesome. And I feel like for you as well, like there's a big level of respect and trust that's gained training every day, being around the same camp, being around the same corner every day. But whenever you have a moment like that where they are literally telling you in the fight, like, hey, the left high kick, it's there. If you throw it, it's going to be there.
Yeah,
I feel like that just kind of takes that level of trust and connection between your guys' relationship to a whole nother level there. I feel like
for
that's something
sure.
you can't really just gain um, going to training on a Monday or training on, leading up to a fight during camp or something like that. So I'm glad that you guys were able to experience and jump to that next level of your guys' relationship with that trust now. That's awesome. That's very key to
Thank you.
a successful MMA and UFC fighter. But I did notice, obviously, your nickname gives this away. I have to ask this though whenever I have fighters on here. How has your faith helped you in and outside the octagon? I have to ask the fighters that come on here because I'm a Christian too. You can probably see my chain right now. So, what does your faith mean to you in and outside the octagon?
My faith means everything to me because I feel like I was put on this earth to do what I'm doing right now. And God has protected me through it, and He has given me victory through it, and He has opened the doors for me to win these fights and to even just take fights and to be here in the UFC. Um, I grew up in a Christian household. I've always believed in Jesus. But it doesn't become real to you until like you get older, and then it's like, what am I meant to do? You know what I mean? What am I here to do in my life?
Yeah,
And man, I wouldn't be able to do it without Jesus. You know what I mean? I was praying before my fight. I was listening to worship music. I'm like, I'm in. I know loves Jesus. Like in New York, it's hard. We don't get that much. You know what I mean? I go to church, my Calvary Chapel of the Hudson Valley, but man, I felt like the Arena was surrounded by churches. I felt like I was looking and I was like, oh, there's another one. And so that's I really feel like really the only reason why any of us are here is because of him. And that's what I said in my post fight interview, and that's what I say every day is like I wake up, God allowed me to wake up today. You know what I mean? What am I gonna do to glorify him? Um and so after that high kick and I finished her and literally I'm living in the moment. It's almost like to me I'm like I don't deserve it. You know what I mean? I don't deserve this at all, but to give God the glory in that means everything, to have that platform to speak to people in that way. There's nothing better than that.
that is awesome. And I think that was a great way to leave the octagon. Such a powerful message. Um, the whole world's watching you right there. You can say so many things. You can take the credit yourself. You can,
Yeah.
your team, teammates, cornermen, friends, family. But you have the mic, and you can say anything in the world. But then to share a message like you did on the mic right there with DC. That was really special. So that was powerful. That's what I want to kind of ask you about your faith. I feel like everybody that I have on here that I do talk to this about, and you could probably elaborate on this as well. Um, I feel like it has to almost calm you a little bit more being a Christian.
Yeah.
You kind of have that feeling in your heart, like, whatever is going to happen tonight, this is what's meant to be. This is God's plan for me. I feel like not everybody that's not a Christian or, doesn't have a belief in something, they don't have that comfortable feel. Maybe walking to the octagon, because that could be very nerve wracking for a lot of humans out there. That's why not everybody's a UFC fighter like you and as successful. So does that kind of help calm you in the back? I mean, especially with you too. I mean, you're the first fight of the night in UFC Nashville, gonna be going out there. Nobody else has made the walk that night. So just listening to that music, does that kind of help calm your nerves a little bit before walking out there?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, like people always ask me, "Oh, do you get nervous? Like, how do you not get nervous?" I'm like, I get nervous. Everybody gets
Yeah,
nervous. If
for
you
sure.
don't get nervous, dude, you're lying. Like, I just don't
Don't
believe
it
people
doesn't
when
mean
they say
nothing to you
that.
if you don't get nervous. It doesn't mean
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't get nervous. It's like that's not tough. If you think that's tough, like not being nervous, I just feel like that's like a feeling of like you don't care that much. You know what I mean? Like
that's how
honestly,
I feel.
right? Like it's almost anything. If somebody goes to the hospital, you can get nervous. Why? Because you know what the outcome could be. You know, and that's why I get nervous. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I'm confident in myself and my ability and the training I put in, but I don't know 100%. It's always 50-50. And so, it says in the Bible, if he is for me, who could be against me? And so I think about that all the time. You know
That's
what I
that's what I
mean?
have tatted on me. I'm not gonna pull my shirt
Oh,
for the viewers right now, but that's the verse
I believe it.
that's in my bio. It's Romans 8:31. If God be for us, then who can be against us?
Who can be
Holy shit,
against
that
us?
was crazy.
Yeah, dude. And so
Uh,
I firmly believe in that, and I got Exodus 14:14. I've had it on my mouthpiece. I've had it on my shorts when I got custom shorts. Stay calm for the Lord, your God will fight for you. That's all I need. Like win, lose, I get hurt. I mean, my debut, I took it on 10 days notice for the UFC. I didn't, I was like, is this God opening the door for me for the UFC? I have an easy way in with Contender Series, but is this what I'm supposed to take? So I prayed about it. I talked to my parents about it. I talked to people from church about it. All within like 3 hours. I talked to like
oh my god.
5 different people that I trusted and I believed that I would feel like would give me godly advice. And we all felt like it was God ordained. And so I took it and I lost. Okay, that's all right though. Like he
Yeah,
gave me the opening. I took it. I did what I could with it. I feel like I got so much more respect for it. I feel like people really started to believe in what I could do, and especially because what I did in 10 days, the
yeah,
girls that she fought couldn't do it on 9 weeks. You know what I mean? And so, was it tough losing? Of course. Like I was definitely upset, and I still am. You know what I mean? I don't think I'll ever not be upset that I lost. That -1 on my record. Oh, it hurt,
right.
but I know God told me to take that. And so I know at the end of the day that that was supposed to happen. He knew that was going to happen. And I felt like I learned so many lessons through that. And I could be happy moving forward now, knowing that it's all in his hands.
That is awesome, and that was beautifully said. I feel like, everything does happen for a reason. I'm glad that it seems like even though I was an athlete, I played at a high level as well, not at a pro level, but I was a semi-pro athlete playing soccer. Um, it does always suck to lose, especially if it's like a -1. You go the whole season, you win, you lose that one game, and you're like, damn,
Yeah, yeah, I know.
fuck that player or whatever. But I feel like with you now, with what you just said, though, that does kind of bring you peace a little bit now that you can see the big picture of everything and be like, that was God's plan, and now I'm here. You know,
For
so
sure.
like that does bring you a little bit of peace from what I can tell or what I can sense. So that's awesome. Um, I do want to ask something though that I've noticed on social media. You and Erin Blanchfield, good friends, teammates. I just wanted to ask you, what does that friendship mean to you inside and outside the octagon? And having someone that's had as much success as her, being around you, how do you think that has helped you get to where you're at? And how do you think that's going to help elevate your game to the next level now that you're potentially going to be inside the top 15 very soon?
Yeah, me and Erin have been training for 6 years now, maybe 7. We started training, we were teenagers. And so we basically like grew up into our like young adult years together, in the gym. And it's hard, like I see what she goes through as like 20, I don't know, she's 25, 26, one of the two. As just like a young person being in like, you know, main events left and right, and what happened to her last time the chick pulled out. We're about to walk out. And I'm sitting there like, we're the same age. You know what I mean? Like, she's going through all this. I could do it too. You know what I mean? Like, she's
Sure.
doing it. I could do it. And not in like a, oh, if she could do it, I could do it. More of in like, I look up to her. Like she takes it in really well. Like super professional about everything. Even like the girl pulling out, like super professional, like keeping everything under wraps. And so it's not only the training, but it's just super motivating and comforting to me that we have things like that, like we could share and talk about, and these moments in our young lives that like we can look back on and be like, oh my gosh, remember when we were like 19 years old and now we're like holding the belt together one day. I mean, like that's like super special. How many people could say that they've done that, you know? And then like the training is, I feel so grateful that I have somebody as high level as she is, with no like, we don't have problems in our gyms. I feel like you hear about all these problems happening in all these other gyms, and so has an attitude because they lost during sparring that day, and we don't have none of that. Like we go, we train, we do our thing, and we leave. And we make each other better. I fight a lot of people shorter than me. She's shorter than me. She fights a lot of people taller than her. I'm taller than her. So I feel like it really, the training works out really really well. We've been doing it forever. We understand each other and things like that. And so she's been a super big help in my career, super big, just training wise, and then just like being like, yo, I've been there. When she was in the UFC, she was like top five. I wasn't even in the UFC yet. And I'm like, man, what am I going to get in? What more do I have to do? I'm like 6-0. Like, dude, what else is there for me to do? And she was there and she was able to comfort me and be like, oh, I was there. I was there only a couple of years ago. And so I'm really grateful to have her in my life for sure.
Well, that is awesome. I feel like, you have a life and a occupation where the camera's always in front of your face. Not everything that is on camera, though, that we see as normal people is true. So that's awesome to hear that you guys actually have a very genuine relationship, friendship, being teammates. That's awesome to hear that. I think that is going to help both of you in the long run, and you guys are going to be around for a long time. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're young as well. She's young. So it's just going to continue. It's not like you guys are going to be losing a training partner or something like that anytime soon. God will.
Definitely not.
I
Yeah, I am.
like MMA career longevity wise. So that's awesome to hear that. I'm glad you guys are good friends in and outside the octagon. That's dope. But this is my most proud question I've came up with. Okay, I was doing some research. I talked to you a little bit about this off camera. I think I read somewhere where you were big into Legos and cycling. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Okay, I did a little bit of digging though. Is there anything outside of those two things that you enjoy to do hobby wise? And why are those two things great hobbies for you outside of fighting?
Yeah, I would say definitely Lego still. Biking, I got into this like, I feel like it was a year, maybe 2 years worth of just like me and my little sister Tabby. I would just be done with training. I'd be like, yo, you want to go for a bike ride? We got the rail trail up by me. It's like, oh my God, I don't even know how miles are, but it's long. So we would just go. I'd pack up some snacks. And so that was like a really like 2 years worth of just like, just being able to, have fun, but also just like be there for my little sister. Um, so I'd say I take a step back on the cycling. I think, camp's been killing me a little bit, so I had to like take it back on that. But recently, what I've been doing with my family, we've turned into like a family thing. We're all simultaneously learning how to golf. And it's amazing
Let's go.
because, like,
Woo!
dude, my mom is like, I don't want to say it, but she's so bad at golf. She's so bad, but we're all trying. Like, I'm not good. Like, I think my two brothers are pretty good. My dad's really good. And my little sister Tabby is really good. Me and my mom, for some reason, we're just like, we got a learning stuff going on. So it's me and her just like being real bad. Like, balls going right, going left, going backwards. Like, but it's fun, like we've been able to kind of pull everybody together and go golfing on the weekends and stuff. So that I would say is my new hobby, and I think we're going to be sticking with that for a while. So,
Let's go. That makes me so happy. Golf is such a great sport. That's what I'm doing.
oh, okay, okay.
If I'm not at my normal job, not coaching soccer or not on YouTube right here, I find myself on a golf course a lot. I think my girlfriend behind the camera right now would probably agree with that too.
I could use some tips then. Send me some tips because it's been a couple months worth of trying, and me and my mom are like stuck right now.
it is the Uh, this is tough. It's MMA and golf. I think from the outside perspective, I think those are by far the two hardest sports in the world. You got to just put a little golf ball in a little hole, and there's such a big
Yeah,
field to play at.
yeah,
Golf is such an awesome sport, though. It's a great way to still keep in touch with family members and friends. If you travel to a
yeah,
city or you haven't seen each other in 2 months, it's a great way to just all reconnect. And it's a sport you can play forever. I mean, it's not like
yeah.
where you have to quit. Like, I've already done playing soccer. I got out of college and got done playing semi pro. I could not go walk on a soccer
Mm,
field right now and play.
yeah.
I would be absolutely terrible. But you can go a year without playing golf, and you might still go out there and hit some good shots once you get to that point. One. So,
I'm like, oh man, that's good to hear because I spend a week and I'm still bad. I'm like, oh, just wait. I'm like, just wait till I'm good. Just wait till I'm good. I'm working on it.
hey, no,
But
you could definitely send over some tips. I don't watch videos on my YouTube channel. I was trash back then. Me and my buddy terrible videos. I probably need to get them off the channel. We've gotten a little bit better since then, but I'm glad to hear that you picked up on golf. I think we got a golf pad here, got a golf pad,
nice.
I think. The other ones are other sports. Oh, wait,
Dude,
good bogey.
oh, nice.
I like bogey. Bogeys are pars to me right here. This is
Oh my
a
God, that's
par.
amazing.
If you're an amateur golfer, folks, this is a par. Okay, I don't care what you say. I got
Yeah, I'm still learning the lingo and everything. I got like a whole outfit. Like I got two or three golfing. I looked the part. Like, trust me, I could fool anybody. You're like, you pro? No, not even close. So I'm like faking it till I make it right now.
hey, you'll make it though. It's just a sport. It's just like any other one.
Yeah, yeah.
With a little bit of time, you'll figure it out though. But that'd be dope. Maybe sometime. My family's actually talking about going to New York at the end of the year, so I know it's pretty cold up there. But if you're ever in the area, sometime we'll all go grab a card and we'll go play.
No doubt,
That'd be dope. That'd be
for
awesome.
sure. We might be on the course for a while, but we'll make we'll make it through.
It's always a day out on the course. So I'm glad those are three great hobbies though to have. That's dope. Love to hear that. But I have got to the final bell. This is a newer segment I've brought to my channel. Basically, you got to choose this or that, and it's like five rapid fire questions, and they're
All
just
right,
completely random. I just come up with stuff and throw it down. So
let's do it.
I want to ask. I did ask you this one off camera a little bit, so I probably know what your answer is going to be. But with you being from New York, I put Yankees or Mets.
Oh, Yankees for sure.
Oh, there we go. That's why we're
Yeah.
today, so I'm actually a Pirates fan, but I'll cheer for the Yankees sometimes. Um, books or movies?
Movies.
There we go.
Let's see, books.
City life or small town?
Small town.
Okay, there we go. Skydive or scuba dive?
Scuba. You'll never catch me with my feet off the ground.
Yeah, I can't mess with it. I haven't flown in years, so I'm absolutely terrified of heights. And then my last one I got is ice cream or donuts.
Oh, ice cream. That's tough, but I've been smashing ice cream recently, so I feel like I have to.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend, we were big Dairy Queen, Superman, Blizzard supporters.
Oh, okay, okay. I do the Butterfinger. Butterfinger
Butterfinger,
Blizzard is
Butterfinger,
so good.
can't go wrong with those. We're big DQ fans, though. We go there
Yeah.
2 times a week, unfortunately. Probably go more than we should. Um, but we'll leave that to be. I try to throw that out there. So those are good choices. I probably would have went with the same ones myself there. I would never ask you a food question while you're in camp or leading up to a fight, though. So that's the only reason I'm
Yeah.
not gonna get that craving going because you're my friend. I'm not gonna. We would never type of thing while you're in camp. But I have gotten my final question. I ask every single fighter this that comes on here. With you being so young, you just had your signature win a little less than a month ago. What is your final message to the fans to continue to tune in and watch your journey in the UFC?
I feel like what I would say to the fans to continue watching my journey is just like get ready for the roller coaster ride. Um, up, down, left, right. I'll take the fight wherever it goes. I'll always put on a show. I'll always be exciting, and I'll always give God the glory.
Absolutely. That was a great message there. I really appreciate your time once again today, Fatima. This has been awesome. I'd love to have you back on the channel once we get a fight booked, maybe whether
Yes.
that's early, late this year or early next year. It'd be an honor to have you back on. Once again, congratulations on the W. I'm so happy for you. You've obviously been working your butt off to get to this point. So I can't wait to watch what the rest of your journey is going to be inside the UFC. We'll definitely be tuned in. Anybody watching this video will be tuned in as well. Make sure you drop a thumbs up for her, guys. Make sure you comment below. I'll have her social media posted here at the end too to go follow her. But until next time, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. Fatima, that was awesome. Thank you for being our first ever guest in UFC Women's MMA. That was awesome. Couldn't have been a better message that you put out here. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Fatima Kline, everybody. You'll see her in the octagon soon.